One is a reaction where what one can say that more reactive element displaces less reactive one. It's a reaction where more reactive element displaces less reactive one. For example, see this blackboard what I am going to write. When magnesium is put into CuSO4 solution, the magnesium being more reactive displaces copper, so we get magnesium sulfate and copper. Now this reaction one can understand it. Displacement will be, a magnesium is a metal that has displaced copper. So a metal get displaced by another metal and a non-metal get displaced by another non-metal. That is the reaction of displacement. And what is most important for the reaction of displacement? You must need ions. Now if you put magnesium into solid copper sulfate solution, then there is no reaction, because copper sulfate is having CuSO4. It does decompose into its ions only in solution. So for the reaction of displacement, one must have ions, and if there are no ions, no displacement reaction will be taking place. Understood it? So remember, magnesium is to be put into copper sulfate solution, then only copper will be displaced. Any reaction of displacement has to be of that way. Now for example, let's take one more one. We will be putting, passing chlorine through potassium iodide. Potassium iodide plus chlorine, then what we will be getting, it is potassium chloride and iodine. Potassium iodide plus potassium iodide solution in aqueous, pass chlorine, potassium chloride plus iodine. Now potassium iodide solution is transparent, colorless. Transparent, colorless, as in this case of your common salt. And through which when chlorine is passed, it turns, the iodine is displaced. You know that iodine's color is purplish in color or violet. So the solution gets turned into a darkish brown. So as far as the question is concerned, what happens if chlorine is passed through potassium iodide solution? Now you say that chlorine is more reactive as displaced iodine, that is the second part. What happens, what is observation that you are going to see, that is to be mentioned. And what happens means, purple colored iodine is displaced, or we can say that the chlorine reacted with potassium iodide and iodine is the colors, the color of the solution gets changed from transparent, it is turning into purplish or violetish in color. Similarly, when magnesium is put into copper sulfate solution, what is taking place? Copper sulfate solution, as you know that it is bluish in color, because Cu ions are bluish, so that will be forming, it gets changed into colorless. Magnesium sulfate is colorless, and copper metal that is displaced is reddish brown. So what we can say, reddish brown copper metal is displaced and the color of the solution turns to colorless. Understood it clearly? In the NCERT book, the activity series, metal activity series are given. So you must learn that activity series, and it must be understood that those metals which are placed above can displace the metal which are placed below. So that is how the reaction displacement takes place. So remember, a metal gets displaced another metal and a non-metal displaces another non-metal. Then you may get a question. When magnesium is put into diluted H2SO4, Mg plus H2SO4, it forms MgSO4 and hydrogen gas is released. And as you know, it was told you earlier, hydrogen is the only non-metal which is chemically metallic in nature. We have studied in the lower classes, metals are electropositive in nature. Hydrogen is also an element which is electropositive in nature, so therefore we can say that magnesium is an electropositive metal. It has displaced another electropositive hydrogen. That is the reaction of displacement. Clear everybody? Now going back to the next reaction, it is the reaction of double displacement, or it is also known as double decomposition. The reaction of double displacement or double decomposition, it is one and the same. Every compound, as you know that in 9th class you have studied, it has got two ions. One has got cation and another one is anion. The cation is positively charged and the anions are negatively charged. And what takes place in reaction of double displacement is the mutual exchange of ions. Mutual exchange of ions. Now what is the meaning of mutual exchange of ions? Now I will take one example. Barium chloride, to which we add sodium sulfate, Na2SO4. Barium chloride is a soluble liquid. It consists of Ba2 plus ions, Cl minus, Na plus, SO4 2 minus. So this compound, there are two pairs of ions, two anions and two cations. Barium 2 plus, Na2 plus, Cl minus and SO4. So when the reaction takes place, due to the mutual exchange of ions, what we will be getting? BaSO4 plus NaCl. Now this BaSO4 is what we call it as a precipitate. Precipitate means that is insoluble. Now what you can understand it? The compound is having, when the reactants we are taken, it has got four ions, Ba plus, Ba2 plus, Cl minus, Na plus, SO4 2 minus. So we have got four ions as far as the reactants are concerned. And when the products are seen, Na plus, Cl minus, these are the only ions, and this does not ionize because it is insoluble. So a substance is chemically soluble in water, then it gets ionized. So this ionization does not take place as far as barium sulfate is concerned. So what we get? We get four ions in the reactants and two ions in the product, and that is why this reaction is known as reaction of double displacement. Double displacement is a reaction where mutual exchange of ions. Understood it? And one more example that are being given in the NCERT book is the reaction of neutralization. Neutralization is a reaction where you all know that it is a reaction between acid and alkali. So let's take an example. HCl when reacted with NaOH, HCl plus NaOH, what we will be getting? It is NaCl plus H2O. Now this is, I call it rather as a reaction neutralization, but since it is given in NCERT book, we can even take it as the reaction of double displacement. How? H plus Cl minus, Na plus OH minus, and when it comes to this one, Na plus Cl minus, and this has got H plus and OH minus. What has happened? This sodium chloride is soluble in water, so this does not form any insoluble material. But the products that are formed are once and for all. Otherwise, we would have called it as a reaction or reversible reactions. The reactants combine H plus Cl minus, Na plus OH minus, we get Na plus Cl minus, that is NaCl plus H2O. The products are formed and they don't combine to produce HCl and NaOH, and that is why it is taken as the reaction of double displacement or double decomposition. Understood it clearly? The reaction of neutralization. Neutralization is a reaction. Why we call it as reaction neutralization? Acids are compounds which change the color of blue litmus to red, and alkalis are the compound which changes red into blue. And during the once the chemical reaction are over, this does not change. No change of litmus papers, no change of colors. So NaCl plus H2O is neither acid nor alkali because it does not change the color of litmus papers. Therefore, that reaction is the reaction of neutralization. Understood it, everybody? Any doubt? Okay. So reaction of neutralization is taken as reaction of double displacement, but rather we can call it as a reaction neutralization instead of reaction of double displacement. Why we say that? In reaction of double displacement, I'll take one more example. Let's take aluminium chloride is a solution. When it reacts with NaOH, caustic soda solution, then we are getting aluminum AlOH thrice plus NaCl. This aluminum hydroxide is a precipitate. So every reaction of double displacement or double decomposition, one can take it as precipitation reaction. And what is a precipitate? Precipitate is something which is formed insoluble. See this one, aluminum chloride is solution, caustic soda solution, and when these both are reacted, we get aluminum hydroxide as an insoluble precipitate plus sodium chloride is formed. Sodium chloride solution. So aluminum hydroxide does not ionize. This has got 4 pairs of ions, and the products are having only 2 pairs of ions, and that is where it is known as reaction of double displacement. Alright, we can note on, I'll say again. Reaction of double displacement. Reaction of double displacement. Where when an acid is reacted by a salt, when an acid is reacted by a salt, we get a new acid and a new salt. We get a new acid and a new salt. Right? If the salt obtained is insoluble, then we call that as the precipitate. The salt obtained is insoluble, then we call that as the precipitate. When any carbonate salt is reacted by an acid, when any carbonate salt is reacted by an acid, when any carbonate salt is reacted by an acid, then we get a salt and a carbonic acid, salt and carbonic acid. The carbonic acid is an unstable acid. Carbonic acid is an unstable acid. Carbonic acid is an unstable acid that decomposes to produce carbon dioxide gas. I'll run the equation for you and I'll explain why this is also known as a reaction of double displacement. Now taking this one, calcium carbonate is a salt that is getting reacted with diluted hydrochloric acid. Then what do we get is calcium chloride plus we get an acid SuCO3. SuCO3 is what you know that it is a carbonic acid. So this carbonic acid is getting decomposed. This carbonic acid decomposes to produce carbon dioxide and water. So that is what we say, that when any carbonate salt is reacted, we get brisk effervescence of the gas release. When any carbonate salt is reacted, we get carbon dioxide gas release. One more example, taking this one, when ferrous sulfide is reacted with diluted H2SO4, this is a salt and this is an acid, then we will be getting a weak acid hydrogen sulfide gas plus FeSO4. So what can you understand it? Due to the mutual exchange of ions, here we have got SuCO3 being an unstable, we get a gas. Ferrous sulfide get reacted with diluted sulfuric acid, we get hydrogen sulfide as a gas. So what can we say? When a salt is reacted by an acid, if we get one of the product as a gas, then it is an example of reaction of double displacement. Understood it clearly? So we can say that reaction of double displacement is one of the product is gas, then it is a reaction of double displacement. Remember, Mg plus diluted H2SO4 we get hydrogen. Mg plus diluted H2SO4 we get hydrogen, but there Mg is an element. Remember, understood it? So when a salt, you know that salt has got two ions, cations and anions. When a salt is made to reacted by an acid, if we get a gas, then it is a reaction of double displacement. Understood it? Now let's take one more example of the other one. When a salt is reacted by an alkali, like I have written it earlier, aluminum chloride is the salt. This gets reacted with NaOH is an alkali. You know the difference? What are alkalis? Alkalis are soluble bases. The metal hydroxide which are soluble in water are known as alkalis. So aluminum chloride salt reacted with sodium hydroxide is an alkali. There we will be getting it. Sodium chloride plus aluminum hydroxide, and this aluminum hydroxide is a precipitate, insoluble, therefore we call it as a base. So what can we say that? When a salt is reacted by an acid, alkali, we get a salt plus an insoluble substance. And whenever a salt is reacted by acid, alkali or another salt, and if we get one of the material as insoluble, then that insoluble material is known as precipitate. So this is a question generally asked in the board examination. Give an example of a chemical reaction which is precipitation reaction. Understood it? In NCERT book, the example given is, what is the example given? Barium chloride plus sodium sulfate will give barium sulfate as a precipitate. We can give any example, one should know the solubility. Aluminum hydroxide is insoluble, therefore we can call it as a precipitate. So the next one is, as I told you earlier, barium chloride plus sodium sulfate will be getting barium sulfate plus sodium chloride. Barium sulfate is a precipitate. So remember one thing, double displacement reaction is a reaction where a salt is reacted by acid, alkali or another salt to produce. Now one of the reactant is a salt, that means the product is also a salt. One of the product must be a salt. Salt plus, if you are taking acid as a reactant, the other product will be an acid. If you are taking alkali as a reactant, then we get base, and if you are taking another as salt, then we will be getting the next salt. This is how the reaction of double displacement or double decomposition goes. Understood it? Any reaction where this reaction has taken place. This is about the reaction of double displacement. Clear? Okay, now going back to the next one. Yes. Okay, I'll wind up at today. Tomorrow we'll carry on the continued next day. Alright, thank you, thanks a lot.